A trip back in time takes us to the beginning of Mike and Sully's bromance. Here's your movie line on Monsters University. Hi everyone, I'm Tatiana Carrier. 2001's Monsters, Inc. introduced us to professional scarers Mike and Sully as the BFF residents of Monstropolis. But their friendship wasn't always so friendly. And this year's Monsters University takes us back to the earlier years when the two were just college students majoring in scaring.
Listen, it was quite delightful meeting you and whatever that is, but if you don't mind, I have to study my scaring.
You don't need to study scaring, you just do it.
Really? I think there's a little more to it than that.
The two drastically different monsters clash in a rivalry that they must overcome to get to where they are today.
Just wait, Hotshot. I'm gonna scare circles around you this year.
You're not even in the same league with me. Boom! Ow!
Billy Crystal, who plays the more studious Mike, tells us how he prepped to go back in time for his character.
I watched the first movie again just to hear him. I knew who he was and his frantic energy, and tried to harness that into who he was before that. And it was, it was one or two passes with a couple of lines, and then once I hear his voice and we're together, then it's a pair of slippers.
This is gonna be harder than I thought.
John Goodman is practically a vet in the animated world, having voiced several characters since Monsters, Inc., including The Princess and the Frog, B-Movie, and Paranorman. But coming back to Sully more than 10 years later was a piece of cake for one specific reason.
It's because it's so much fun to do. I think that's why it was so easy. The world that these guys inhabit is so well imagined and real in many ways to me. Just reach deep down and let the scary out.
The prequel introduces a new group of characters who play a part in the budding friendship between Mike and Sully. They're called the Oozma Kappas, and we think Crystal's description of them here explains them best.
They're sort of the revenge of the animated nerds, and they're lovely guys who don't have much scaring talent just by the genetics of it.
Castle star Nathan Fillion voices Johnny Worthington, the president of Roar Omega Roar, the most popular monster fraternity on campus, and Oozma's rivals.
Sully, any freshman with the guts to pull off a stunt like that has got future scarer written all over him.
Hey, did you see me ride the pig? That took guts.
Fillion reveals some pretty unorthodox methods to playing the jerky character.
I went to a local university and I found the nerdiest kids they had and I started pushing them around.
Okay, so he's totally joking. In fact, it seems more likely that Fillion's college self would have fit in more with the Oozmas than the Roars.
I was a geek. I was pretty nerdy, but I looked mainstream. So I was able to straddle both sides of that. I later on joined a fraternity that was more like a dead poet society. We were kind of Oozma.
So why a prequel and not a sequel? Director Dan Scanlon explains.
We wanted to do something that explored the relationship of Mike and Sully further, kind of get to know how these guys know each other, and so we quickly realized, well, to go back and witness the moment when they met would be the best way to learn more about their relationship. And on top of that, we could now do crazy college monster jokes, and that seemed like a good reason to do it.
There's your movie line on Monsters University. Go or no? What's your review? Hit us up in the comments below. And subscribe to Movie Line for more inside scoop on Hollywood's most anticipated movies. I'm Tatiana Carrier. Thanks so much for watching.